What's up? What's good? It's MGI the Game Style, and welcome back to another WWE's predictions. This time, WrestleMania season has come around once again. This is WrestleMania 42, and I want to give out my predictions of what I think is going to happen this weekend. And right now, I think this is probably one of the most predictable cards that we've had in good recent couple of years. Not necessarily all their fault. It's just that, outcomes has already been pre-told, and I think it'll be best to like try to freshen it up a little bit along the lines. But then again, we'll see what creative does. But right now, I want to go through over Saturday and Sunday winners, losers as well, for these cards. But right now, we're gonna start with Saturday. So as I got right here, you see the six-man tag, the unsanctioned match, the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, the Women's Intercontinental Championship, Gunther and Seth, the Women's World Championship match, and then the undisputed WWE Championship match. So all in total, you have 7 matches for the first night, which is incredible. But we're gonna go ahead and go down all of them. So first off, you have the six-man tag, which is going to basically kick off the night. It's going to kick off WrestleMania with LA Knight and the Usos, with Logan Paul, Austin Theory with Division, and I Show Speed. Now, having Speed on here, is going to bring a lot of eyes, a lot of streaming eyes, and people are really going to want to see what Speed can do in the ring. So that was actually a pretty smart call on WWE's behalf, bringing this type of celebrity power in here, even though they're kind of overdoing it with the celebrities. I would say like these past couple of WrestleManias, so they kind of need to slow down a bit on that. But it is, drawing in revenue. So on a business side, I get it. But if history has taught us in the last year or so, sometimes bringing celebrities in the fold doesn't always work out. So you need to be careful on that. But as far as this match is concerned, I kind of see how this might end up playing out. Speed may accidentally, you know, hit someone inadvertently. I just know this Speed is going to be the deciding factor of the match, and I don't see Division or Speed losing this because I know there's going to be some type of outside interference. Plus, also that funny, I want to say funny, that pretty setup interaction that they had with Jay Uso and Cameron over this past week. So I have a feeling that Cameron's going to pop through and going to have a bit of a showing on this. So celebrities getting ready to pop out, more rappers about to pop out. So it's going to be interesting. But I see I Show Speed and Division getting this win due to interference. So that's probably how that's going to end up happening. So expect that. Next over here you got Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. To me, this is the most like one of like the most predictable matches on the entire card for Saturday and Sunday. Like it's no secret that Drew is going to go film a movie once he's done with this. So in order for him to do that, he needs to take time off. And what better way to do that is for him to basically get squashed in this, I don't see him like taking that much of an L. Like I think they're gonna make him still look, pretty much of a badass, like a strong, heel towards the end. But if Drew's gonna lose this, then he needs to lose this and go out fighting, like really, like I don't know, bury him under some chairs or stairs or some tables, like make Drew look like he is on the urge of really crashing out. Like look immediate strong. It's taking Jacob everything in his power to keep Drew down. If Drew's gonna lose this, that's how you gotta have some type of credibility for Drew. Especially when he just became champion and then lost the championship. Not even within 2 months of his win. Just for him to lose again to Jacob Fatu. Like you gotta build him up. With strong credibility because you know Sure enough, I'm pretty sure when he does return, it's probably gonna be as a babyface, but we'll see. But 100%, I got Jacob winning that one. There's no doubt Jacob, is gonna win. See here. Next, the women's tag team championship fatal four way. Now, I'm not sure if Nikki Bella is going to be cleared to wrestle tonight. I'm not sure, but if so, it's no secret that the Bellas are going to win this. I don't see the champions retaining. I think they'll do just a placeholder just to build the match because they need strong heels to go into WrestleMania, which obviously plays a good role in this. Um, Bailey and Lyra, I I don't see them winning. If anything, I could probably see them probably getting into like a fight or something, and they both crashing out on each other. Maybe either towards the night or maybe leading up until Monday. Now, when it comes to Charlotte and Alexa, they would be a safer bet if something were to happen to the Bellas, but I think this whole buddy buddy tag team thing has come to an end. I think it's cool, but I think we've kind of reached its course. You know what I mean? So I think they're gonna end up splitting, and if they do, best on them because we need more credible challengers for these main championships. The WWE Women's Championship, the World Championship. Even we got to give the U.S. title some love. Like the Women's U.S. title, that needs that dangerously needs some help here. And what better way to to have one of those two like really go for the title and win? Like I can see Alexa Bliss, Women's United States champion, and really building up that title. Kind of like how Becky build up the Intercontinental title, or even Charlotte. We got to get that going if we're gonna have a mid card title for the women. But yeah, I don't see them lasting too much longer. I think the tag title's been cool. I think Charlotte, she's been on a bit of a cool down phase. I think people are starting to respect her more. So they think that she's just in the title picture. She's Charlotte Flair, blah blah blah. I think people are getting past that. So I think we need to go ahead and get Charlotte back on that road to where she's getting ready to not only beat her father's record, but maybe even others as well. But my final prediction, since this is their final run in WWE, the Bella Twins are gonna win. And well, the question is who's gonna take the titles off of them when they win, but I just see them winning. So that's that. Whew. Next. The Women's Intercontinental Championship match between AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. Um, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't be mad at either one, to be honest with you. Like, Becky has been building up the Intercontinental Championship in a good way. As much as her being a main eventer, she's been putting a lot of love in the Intercontinental Championship and making it feel important, making it feel valuable. And that's good. That really is fantastic, and that's how it should be. Like credible, believable champions for the next generation to come up, and their names be in the book of incredible champions who followed the lead, of Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria, all those who came before. So, um, and now we got AJ Lee, who's trying to fit into that fold, but she is still trying to get her bearings after 10 years, and I feel like she feels comfortable with Becky. So I think a loss here wouldn't hurt her at all. In fact, I know it wouldn't, because if that's the case, AJ's just going to come back and come back stronger. But I also think that AJ's not really full time, so I don't really see a reason to keep the title on AJ unless they plan on like extending her story with somebody else. Like if AJ retains, this has to be it. Like we've seen Becky and AJ multiple times in multiple scenarios. This has to be it. I don't want this to carry over to Backlash or Clash in Italy, like all the other PLEs. Saturday Night's Main Event. Like we've done this song and dance plenty of times. It has to end here. No matter who wins, it has to end here. We got to move on. All right. But for my prediction, though, I do see Becky Lynch becoming the Intercontinental Champion again, and AJ is gonna step off for a while until we get some fresh meat back on the line here. And we also got some NXT call ups, and I would love to see Sol Ruka step up and just take the fold. That would be incredible, like for real. All right, we got Seth Rollins versus Gunther. With this being the less time for a build up and still feel like it's pretty credible. That's amazing. The work of Gunther and what he can do. Like that promo that he cut over on Seth Rollins, without the attacks, just telling him about his reign and what he did when he had the championship and saying that I got something to prove that I am the greatest wrestler, not you, and the favor that he made, or I would say maybe he owes Gunther one for taking care of the Seth Rollins problems, shaking his hand. That's going to definitely lead to something with Brock Lesnar. And oh man, that's going to be good. I know that's the reason, but in order to do this, Gunther can't lose. Now, Seth losing here is not going to hurt him. And even though Gunther does not need interference in this match, I have a strong feeling that Braun Breaker is going to interfere in this, or somebody from the division. Something's going to happen here. There's going to be shenanigans. We know that. So prepare yourself for that. They're not going to make Seth lose clean here. Not it's too fresh. The wound will be too fresh. Seth losing clean here doesn't help him. So this something's going to happen. But ultimately, we got this new career killer, who basically off recently retiring John Cena, retiring AJ Styles. He also retired Goldberg. You're not going to have him take an L, this early, at least until we know he takes care of Brock. Then we can talk. But we need to keep him strong. But till further notice, Gunther wins this match via shenanigans. All right, stepping over here. We have the Women's World Championship match, Stephanie Valkyrie and Liv Morgan. If you were to ask me, if I were to be 100% honest with you, this match right here should have been the main event of night one. Yes, it should have been the main event of night one. It shouldn't have gone on second to last. No, this should have been the main event. It had the most build, it had the most energy, and there was actually real scenarios with Liv getting beat up, have the, clocking heads with with Roxanne, like real time, getting her black eyes, from Stephanie, and she's taking it like a champ, like a badass, like, hey, I'm still ready to go. Like she's coming in there looking real strong, defending reality from kayfabe. Liv has bent that on her own, and it has made her look so strong going into this as the, hateable heel, that she's trying to portray, because this is the best work that Liv has ever done in her career. Like I thought 2024 was good. Like she's on a way about to taking it a step further when she wins this championship, because I don't see a reason for Liv not to win here. Do I see interference happening? Probably, but either way it go, I think it would be best if there is no interference. Liv pulls it off on her own, somehow, some way. Even if it comes down to where she has to use a couple of tricks up her sleeve in order to get the job done, I'm cool with that. But I would rather that than having interference. because it's just going to prove Stephanie's point that she needs backup, she needs help. When to me, you know, Liv shouldn't need help if she wants to become a credible champion. And I think that's the point that Stephanie was trying to make, in her defense, to say, I'm more of a credible champion than you are, trying to do the whole baby face talk and blah, blah, blah. But no, I think that Liv should do this on her own, but she should do it with some devious tactics. Bring out that raw street fighter, like little scrappy street fighter, that we saw in her video, her music video. Kind of be like a Jersey Devil in a sense. But um, my prediction, and ultimately, Liv Morgan wins this. I don't see her losing because if it does, it's really going to hurt her credibility, and we don't even know what will go from here. So Liv wins. And also, by the way, this has nothing to do with Liv winning the Royal Rumble. Some people thinking that, oh, just because you win the Royal Rumble, means that you are going to win the championship match. That's not always the case. In history, in the past, has always shown that. I could give out the names, but I'm pretty sure, for the women, that's not always the case. So just keep that in mind. Let's go over now to oh God, this the build off of this right here. The unfortunate main event, the WWE Undisputed Championship match of Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton with Pat Go Home McAfee. Oh my gosh, this should have been such an incredible build. Why Pat got involved, I don't know. Well, we do know, and it's unfortunate, but it has ruined the integrity of this match. Like, this should have been 20 years of building between student and prodigy of just God. I can't. I'm so disappointed in this. Like, Randy Orton's going to win. All right, that's my final prediction. Randy Orton's going to win via it be someone giving somebody a punt kick or some type of other shenanigans. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I just need this match to be over and be over with quick because I could see myself losing patience off of this because I'm not invested in it as I thought I would be, and it's just unfortunate. I just hooked my head down. I'm just like, here we go again, you know, like just a more weaker build, than it was in WrestleMania 41 with Cena and Cody Rhodes. I'm just so disappointed in this, and I honestly, Randy deserves better. This should have really made Randy look like a true absolute monster going into this, but now it's predictable, it's weak. Pat should have never been involved. I can't. So we're just gonna move on to that. Sorry, Cody, but it's time for a new fresh up. It's time for Cody to save wrestling. Not Cody, Randy to save wrestling. So final prediction: Randy Orton wins, and then we pick it up again off of Backlash, but it needs to end eventually. But that was night one. Let's go over to night two, which has 6 matches instead of 7. But I'm pretty sure I have a feeling that for time's sake, they're going to do a bit of a filler. Like either a filler or an unsanctioned match. Meaning, like, somebody's going to come out and start talking. I feel like they're going to do something with John Cena and probably Danhausen. No, no, it's just I think that's going to make the night look a little bit shorter, but um, we'll see. So, starting off again. Wait, this shouldn't have been there. The ladder match. We got, to me, the most anticipated match for night overnight too, as far as mid card is concerned, because we'll get to this in a minute. um, the Intercontinental ladder match, and we're missing Rey Mysterio in the imaging. I'm sorry, but you got Rey Mysterio with Dragon Lee, Javon Evans, Penta is the champion, JD McDonough, and Rusev. So, hands on, right now, this is going to be an incredible match. This match is going to be lit. There's going to be a lot of high flying. There's going to be a lot of bodies crashing. This match is about to turn all the way up, like all the way up. And I can see Javon Evans being the daredevil of this match, like insane with it, like completely insane with it. So why not pull the trigger and put the title on him? You know? Yeah, imagine the pop he would get, him winning the Intercontinental Championship, but also being the youngest Intercontinental Champion, beating Jeff Hardy. Javon, I believe, is 21 at this time. He would be the youngest. He would beat Jeff, and that would be like really good, for his career. So I see honestly him winning. It's either that Ray Mysterio winning or Penta retaining, which Penta has done a good job, as champion, building it up. Penta's very popular. So, but I think Triple H has seen enough from Javon to where he's over. He has, the potential, the high flying, and the energy that he's bringing. The chauffeur in the new era. I can definitely see Javon Evans, like holding the Intercontinental Championship, for a while. So that's my final prediction. Javon wins. He becomes the youngest IC champ. And to me, he's going to get a pop, similar to what Dominic Mysterio did last year at WrestleMania 41. Just that's what we need. We need to build more stars. We just have to build that up. All right, over here, Sami Zayn, Trick Williams. Oh my God, Carmelo Hayes should have been a part of this. This should have been a triple threat. All right, this should have been a triple threat match. You know, this. I think this is going to be a bathroom break match. No one was really like looking forward to it because of the build and the unfortunate circumstances. Like there was nothing wrong here with Carmelo Hayes walking into Mania with the championship. Why would you put it on Zayn? I don't understand that. I think that's why Sammy's getting heat, unfortunately, when it's not even his fault. But yeah, Carmelo getting screwed over this is not fair. And I'm pretty sure eventually we're gonna see Melo and Trick run it back like he did in the good old NXT days, because that right there is money. That's money right there. So, but we'll get it eventually, hopefully. But my final prediction on this one: Trick Williams becomes the United States champion. Sammy fully turns heel. Trick is probably going to either be a face or a tweener. I don't know. I think Trick has been doing great as a heel. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm sorry. This I don't see this match going no more than like 10 minutes or so. Like it's probably gonna be quick. Now, this juggernaut right here of a match. Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi. Yes. Oba must win. I'm gonna say that again so you guys understand. Oba must win. He must win. The way that he has been manhandling Brock has not been seen before in a extremely long time. I think the closest that we've ever seen Brock ever get physically manhandled on a nightly basis was back when Braun Strowman was at his high prime peak in WWE, where it looked credible. I'm pretty sure that we can all remember the build back, No Mercy, 2017, when the Universal Championship was on the line. The match that Braun should have won the match. I don't know what happened or why Vince may have was like, nah, but that to me was truly the last time we ever seen Brock get tossed around and manhandled. And trust me, if Brock believes in you and for the fate of the business, like when it comes to down doing business, Brock will do the job for you. He will sell for you. He'll make you look like the credible monster because Brock has nothing more to prove. We already know him as the beast. We know of his legitimate fighting background. We know what he's capable of. But he's not afraid to put people over that he likes and that he believes in to build more stars. That's what he did with Drew McIntyre for the Royal Rumble. He built McIntyre up, and unfortunately, it would have been better had COVID not come down on us. But either way it go, if Brock sees something in you and he's willing to work with you, then you should take that as a high honor because he wants to do what he can to make you look big. So overall, that he's a pretty good guy for that. But he sees something in Oba. He really does to where he wants to work with him and allow him on a nightly basis. All Monday Night Raws that has passed, Brock's been putting him over. He's been allowing this man to just put him through the ringer and build him up to this incredible monster that he's going to be going down to like look no no look he has a sky high rocket that's going to take him to Jupiter and beyond. That's where Oba's at right now. Every time he comes down to the ring, we all strutting with him. Oba, Oba, hoo, Oba, hoo. We all doing it. It's it's empowering, especially with me, being an African American, just to see something like this is unheard of, and it's good to see. It really is good to see. But in order for this to really bode well and really make this credible, Obafemi has to win. This has to be a domination. Now, I'm not saying that completely squash Brock because that right there would really just show that Brock is starting to really wind down and say hey, I'm done. But if Brock wants to go out, I think he should go out on a term to where he can still look like the beast that he is. But it should be some real physical back and forth. Don't I don't want to see a 3 minute squash. Like we got to really kind of stretch this out a bit here. Build up some tension, build up the segments, make it look clean. I'll take a good 8 to 10 minutes, from bell to bell, a good 8 to 10 minutes of big men slapping man meat, as Big E would say. Just suplexes, German suplexes, throwing, bodies flying, F5s, just all that. I want to see all that. But at the end of the day, Oba needs to win. If not, then I guarantee you it's not going to end well. Night two is going to be a very miserable night, and I promise you, the rest of this card is going to just seem like, what's the point? You know, why are we doing all this and we're still putting over older talent? You know, but cross our fingers on that one. Obafemi, he has to win. All right, moving on. Jay Cargill, Rhea Ripley. This might be a hot take, like for real. But I see Jade retaining. I see Jade retaining. I don't see Rhea Ripley winning this. I don't. And my prediction of why is because I think that they're going to build something with Bianca Belair. I feel it in my nerves and in my skin deep down that Bianca Belair is going to be involved in this in some capacity. Broken finger and all, but I just that's what we was originally supposed to get. You know, we had to pivot, obviously, but I just think that we're waiting for that opportunity to where we can actually see them go toe to toe and have something on the line for it to make it seem more credible. Now, granted, even though they don't need the title, they don't need it, but it would make it stand out more if the title was involved. Because if Rhea wins, then what are we going to do with that? Besides Jade asking for a rematch, I don't see anybody or can think of anyone who could take on Rhea, at this time and to take the title off for her because of how dominant she is. That she's been a dominant champion every time she's had the championship and has ran through the majority of the roster, that has ever come before her that could actually take her out. You know, Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, um, Liv Morgan, like the list goes on. So I just don't see if Rio wins, I don't see where they're gonna go with it. They have to have something built up and ready for that. So as of now, I just feel it in my nerves that Bianca's gonna be coming back very soon, and I think with that being in mind, Jade is gonna retain. And who knows, since Io is not on the card here, I think Io may play a part in that. Just to make sure that this doesn't be a clean loss, because I don't see this being a clean loss. I think Io's going to get involved, um, and just it's going to be some shenanigans, and that's how Jade is going to retain, and we may actually see the breakup of Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. So we'll see. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the main event: CM Punk, Roman Reigns, the OTC, the Tribal Chief. I can't predict this match because I don't know who's gonna win. I can't think of a reason for any of one of these guys to lose. And for once, I like that. That's to me how every match on the card should be. I can't think of a reason, not off the top of my head. So I'm cool with whoever wins here. If CM Punk retains, I'm cool with it. If Roman Reigns wins, I'm cool with it. But let's go down. Okay, let's break it down like this. If Roman were to win, what happens with Punk next? Does he take his leave of absence with his wife, rebuild and come back? And the OTC, he runs it again. He runs it back. Get the family back together. Get his wise man. Like, is that what we're doing? Is that the road that we're taking? You know, like, we also know Roman is a part timer, so we're not going to see the World Heavyweight Championship on a TV like day to day basis. So we got to keep that in mind. But then again, that didn't stop Roman years and years and years ago. So you don't know. It may play out, but also we have to keep in mind that Roman has never won the World Heavyweight Championship. He's never won it. And honestly, this would be good to his resume. Like, he's already a Grand Slam champion, but this right here is saying that he won the World Heavyweight Championship, is something that he can also say. Now, if Punk retains, where does that leave Roman? We know Punk is going to be on TV talking this talk, waiting for his next opponents to challenge him. This we don't know what's going to happen on the Monday after WrestleMania, but I'm cool with it. So, but to make it more sense on a business standpoint, I see Roman Reigns winning here. Roman wins after a very long, drawn out battle. Roman wins the championship, and something at the end of this match is going to happen. We might get the final boss. We might set up WrestleMania 43. That would be pretty dope. But I don't know. Either way it goes, we're in for a good couple of surprises in WrestleMania. But my final prediction: Roman Reigns wins the World Heavyweight Championship. And that'll do it for this predictions, guys. Thanks for checking me out as always. Thanks for checking out the game style, and I will catch you guys in the next predictions. When I guess another big event pops up, it was probably going to end up being probably SummerSlam, since we're doing night two status. We're probably going to end up popping into there. But I will catch you guys when that comes around. You guys take care, and if you're gonna watch, enjoy. I hope your predictions come true. I hope the the pay-per-view or premium live event turns out to be great. If you're a huge wrestling fan or if you're a first-time fan, kick back and enjoy the show. Until then, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.